coming once again to our stage, please welcome the MC of the second annual Genesis Prize ceremony, Jay Leno.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. How are you? This is my second trip to Israel. Last year was my first time, and I have to say it was an amazing experience. The history, the people, the beauty of the city. I had one small problem, and I guess it was more cultural than anything else, because I came right to the airport last year to this theater, and I met Ronan, our director, and I said, what should I do? He goes, what do you do? Here's what you do. You stay backstage. There will be some talking, music will play for 4 or 5 minutes, and then I say your name. And I said, when I hear my name, I walk out? No, no, no. No, you don't walk out. You stay. I stay. I don't walk out. You stay. Okay. I hear, ladies and gentlemen, and you hear that, and God told the Jews, and there's lightning and thing, and then the band plays for 5 minutes. He goes, please welcome Jay Leno. So I stand there, and I hear, where are you? I said, do I walk out? No, you don't walk out. You stay. I stay here. I don't walk. You don't walk out. You stay. Let's try again. Okay. And God told the Jews, and the lightning goes off, and the band plays for 5 minutes. Please welcome Jay Leno. And I said, what are you doing? He said, I come backstage. I said, I don't understand. Do I hear my name? Do I walk out? He goes, no, you don't walk out. You walk in. What? You walk in. I walk in. Okay, I get it. Okay, I walk in. See, you know, they're calling me the host. I don't consider myself the host of this show. I consider myself now Israel Shabbos Goy. That's my job. I come, maybe on Christmas Day you can do something for me. You know, I read a lot about Israel since my last trip here. I learned that Israel is a leader in global warming research. In fact, Israeli scientists predict by next year, Vladimir Putin could be shirtless as early as February. Okay? In my studies, I learned that, and this is amazing to me, I didn't know this, in 1952, Albert Einstein was offered the chance to become prime minister or president of Israel, but he refused. You know why? Because he was smart. No. Einstein knew it was easier to figure out the mysteries of the universe than try to figure out how to keep Israeli voters happy. He knew that. Now see, I am proud that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. See, I take it further. I think Israel is the purest democracy in the world. You know why? Because in Israel, it seems like every voter has their own political party. Huh? I mean, if you have 1/10 of 1%, you are leading. You guys have more parties than that Italian Prime Minister Berlusconi got. Hey, were you sad to see that David Blatt, the Israeli coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, lost the NBA Finals the other night? Yeah. He lost the championship, huh? Something else people blame on the Jews. Here you go again. You know, while I was here, I was asked if I would do a show for the inmates at the Masayahu prison, but I said, no, I figured I'd see enough politicians here tonight, so I figured, you know, it seemed double jeopardy, yeah. In fact, since I was here last year, I found that the former Prime Minister Olmert is going to prison for taking bribes. Taking bribes. I didn't even know he played soccer. Did you have any idea? It's kind of ironic. Olmert began his career here in Israel fighting organized crime. See, that's why he switched to politics. Apparently, he preferred disorganized crime. It worked out that way. Actually, it's been a strange year for politics, don't you think? I mean, President Obama invites the King of Saudi Arabia to America, and he refuses to come. Then Obama does not invite Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the guy shows up anyway. So, you know, yeah. I've actually had more FaceTime with Netanyahu than Obama has. That's kind of the odd thing. Actually, over the last year, so I've come to cherish my friendship with Prime Minister Netanyahu. I know him to be a man of his word, unless, of course, that word is spoken the day before the election. Then maybe things are a little different. Can we get a shot? Is he laughing? Yeah. Well, last week, Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke out about the international community's silence over the recent rocket attacks in Gaza, to which President Obama said, shh. And actually, in a speech talking about the Middle East, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said, he said it is a myth that Iran is trying to develop nuclear weapons. To which President Obama said, that's good enough for me. You know, I'm fine. And of course, the man in the middle of all of this, Secretary of State John Kerry, broke his leg while riding a bicycle, in his defense. You know how hard it is to ride a bicycle when you're backpedaling? It is very hard to do. It is very hard to do. So that's right. Now, here is a frightening story that happened a couple weeks ago. I'm sure you know this. In Iraq, a group of 21 ISIS suicide bombers blew themselves up in class. In class. Talk about quick learners. Oh, my God. I mean, if you blow yourself up in class, do you get extra credit? I'm not sure how it works. Of course, the big story now in the United States is ISIS is trying to recruit American teenagers. Luckily for us, all our kids are too fat to qualify, so that actually works out pretty good. Of course, back in the States, as you probably know, the Republicans are trying to get rid of Obamacare. You familiar with Obamacare? It provides health care for everyone. See, the trouble with Obamacare is they have too many government agencies under the Obamacare umbrella. For example, I got a prostate exam the other day, but it was done by a drone, and that made me uncomfortable. So it was uncomfortable. Now, that's Obamacare. Don't confuse that with his Israeli policy. That's Obama don't care. That is a totally different policy. And as you know, in just 18 months, America will have a new president. Some people think it will be Hillary Clinton. Others think it will be Hillary Clinton, so that should be it. And recently, Hillary Clinton was given a very prestigious award by the Elton John Foundation. She was voted the future president, most likely, to look like Elton John. I thought that was quite an honor. And we have this is a tough room, I'll tell you. We have a number of Republicans running for president. Marco Rubio, do you know him? He is being called the best communicator in the Republican Party, which is kind of like being called the smartest Kardashian, you know. Donald Trump running for president. Doesn't really know much about the Middle East. In fact, today he said, which is the place with all the Jews? What's the name of that place? You can break that one. Ted Cruz also running for president. And I don't want to say Ted Cruz is right-wing, but he feels Netanyahu is not pro-Israel enough. So. And Jeb Bush also running for president. Now, Jeb Bush said this the other day. He said, if elected president, he will rely on his brother George for advice on the Middle East and Iraq. Huh? Really? Isn't that like asking President Katzab for dating advice? I don't know. It didn't seem that way. Yeah. Well, I tell you, I had a lovely flight over on El Al, and you know, your security is unbelievable. Your security is so much better than ours. I'm sure you know this story. It happened last week. Homeland Security agents posing as passengers are able to sneak weapons on board planes 95% of the time. We had a 95% failure rate, thus making Homeland Security America's most competent government agency. So that's pretty good. And as you know, Israel is a leader in medical research. Now, this is fascinating to me. Israeli doctors have found that you can actually appear younger by hanging out with really old people. Now, these findings are based on a study of Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas. They watched, and she remains so young and beautiful. Now, I know Michael. I don't want to say Michael lies about his age. I don't want to say he's vain, but he actually tried to get the trip here to Israel on birthright. You know, yeah. Actually, I'm honored to be here tonight for Michael Douglas. Actually, up until this very moment, I had no idea Michael was Jewish. I didn't even realize that. Well, can you blame Michael Douglas? Is that really a Jewish name, Michael Douglas? The only name I can think of less Jewish, Kirk Douglas. That's the only name that seems actually less Jewish than Michael Douglas. You know what somebody asked me about 2 weeks ago? They said, oh, you're going back to Israel. Why do you like the Jews so much? And I said, you never forget a kindness. This is a true story. When I was a young man, 19, 20 years old, I was starting out in comedy, and I had an awful agent named Abe Totus, this horrible agent. And he sent me on a gig in the Pocono Mountains for $50. He says, you go up there. And I drive up, and I pull in, and I realize it is a Hasidic resort. And the marquee says, tonight, Jay Leno, Jewish storyteller. Okay. So I realize this agent has sold me to this group. And I go there, and there's about 100 people. And I say, all right, and I go out and I start to talk, you know, blah, blah. And I'm doing my act. After about 10 minutes, this rabbi goes, I take it you're not Jewish. I said, no, sir, I'm not. I said, listen, I'm sorry, look, I don't want to be paid. I don't want to take the $50. I don't want the money. This guy sent me up here on false pretenses. I didn't realize this. He goes, stop. He says, you have a family? Tell me about your family. I said, well, my dad sells insurance, and he thinks this comedy thing is a stupid idea. I said, my mom just wants me to finish school. I said, my brother went to Yale. He's one of the top 10 students in the country. He became a lawyer. I'm just trying to be a comedian. I don't think I'll ever be as good as my brother. He goes, stop. He says, you sound Jewish enough. You get paid. So that's why I like Jews. Anyway, as I said, this is my second year as MC of this very important event. Last year's inaugural Genesis Prize recipient was, of course, Michael Bloomberg. This year's laureate is Michael Douglas. Apparently, yeah, sure, of course, as you can tell. Apparently, the only criteria for winning this award is you have to be named Michael. I think that's pretty much. Well, the mission of the Genesis Prize Group is to recognize individuals who have attained excellence in their chosen professional fields and whose actions and achievements embody the character of the Jewish people through commitment to Jewish values, the Jewish community at large, and the state of Israel, which perfectly describes my friend Michael.